All right, live on both platforms. I'm just putting my bike out of the way here. So I'm keeping it in the yoga space. We need a little lighting. How are we doing today? All right, not sure if that helps, but well, here we are again. We're early. Yes, it's been hard to start as early as I'd like. With the last minute newborn changes and different things, but we are early today, which feels good. And we've got a nice Vinyasa class on the books starting in a couple of minutes. So have your things, get ready, and we will start relatively soon. I'm going to have a little sip of water, and if you're feeling thirsty, I recommend you do the same. The old school yoga people forbid water during practice or even sometimes half an hour before practice because it dilutes the fire and can make you feel full for things like twists and can take away from the heating and cleansing and purification effect of the experience. And I agree with that as the ideal, but the Ayurvedic knowledge about natural instincts and natural urges like thirst is that you can't not obey them. So, little sips here and there. I push back against authoritarianism. I understand, prehydrate, wait a bit, do your practice. That's the ideal. But people have busy lives. People forget things. People get a little behind. You have to adapt to the ideal. And it's the same way you approach poses as well. It's the same way you approach breathing. We want to ideally breathe perfectly the whole time, but we sometimes don't do that. And we adapt, we rest, we modify, we take time to get back to the ideal and also understand that not all the practices are going to be perfect. We're going to have some days where we just pretty much feel like we're nailing everything. And most days you're going to feel like solid, but not quite there. And some days you're going to feel like you're really dragging. And all the days of practice, your best, your average, and your worst are valuable because they all teach you something. And it's just good, unless you're severely injuring yourself. It's just good to have one more practice in the bank. The more you practice, the more your average days are going to be pretty damn good. And when you practice a lot, and even your dragging days are better than your good days when you were newer, that's when you know you've made progress. So the bad days can be a good progress indicator. And also how you mentally react. I mean, like, oh, I feel tight today, or oh, I don't feel strong in my handstand today. Like, do you mentally react like, okay, that's just what it is? Or do you be like, oh no, this is so bad, I'm bad because my handstand's bad, It's a common thing. I've done that plenty of times. I'm not saying that that's a horrible thing to do. It's just not the best way to view practice. So when you practice more, when you breathe more, when you understand that it's not the end of the world if you're, not having your best day, or when you are having your best day, that's not the only time when you can feel of great worth. You learn to experience a little bit more equanimity in your body and mind, and you practice in more of an objective way. So let's work on a little bit of objectivity. Let's work on aiming for the ideal, but accepting that we may not be able to hit the target on the bullseye. Just feel glad that we're here to practice. So having said all that, it is time to begin. Thank you for joining today. Let's go ahead and have the feet parallel, lengthen and open the toes, work the tailbone down, draw in the core, expand across the chest, shoulders relaxed, arms relaxed, lengthen and spread the toes, Take some deep breath. And continue to deep breath. Let's continue deep breaths, adding more volume each round. And eventually we get to that point where you're breathing as deep as you can. Breathe in, fill the lungs to maximum capacity. Breathe out, exhale till you're empty and you draw into the core a little bit. Breathe in, continue the flow of the breath. Practicing Vinyasa today, which refers to flowing. But sometimes we're holding poses, sometimes we're being less active, but we're always flowing with the breath. So continue that. We'll add subtle movement. This first warm-up is called palm tree Vinyasa. You lift the arms a little bit and keep the hips relatively square and twist very lightly side to side. Not trying to use too much range of motion, but rather just warming up slowly and developing a little bit of muscle tone in your back. The more you square the hips, the less you twist the knees, and the more you develop muscle tone in the back. So that's really nice. And come back to center. Let's go ahead and roll the shoulders. Both directions. And switch to the wrists. Both directions. And go ahead and lift the arms. Hold one wrist, stretch to the opposite side. Switch the sides, keep the core in. And go back and forth. Come on back to center. And relax the arms. Let's go ahead and work out the hips now, making this sort of imaginary hula hoop. both directions. Feet together and bending the knees, rolling out the knees. Do about 3 or 4 each way. And come back to center. Now lift the right knee to the chest. You might need to hold onto the wall while you do this. Otherwise, your hand on hip will stabilize your balance. Roll the ankle. Deep breath. Do about 3 or 4 each way. Switch the sides. Roll the ankle. Do each direction. Good. When you're done with each direction, we're going to have the feet a little bit wide, parallel or slightly turned out, but symmetrical. And we're going to bend the knees a bit. Hold. Do that again. Put weight in the heels. And if you feel good, you can have the hands together and you can go a little lower, but only if the knees respond positively. Weight in the heels will take pressure out of the knees. You can go quite low to incorporate more strength and flexibility. Otherwise, stay in the original phase. Yeah, complete. We'll switch to doing half sun salutes. If your hamstrings are tight, have wider feet. Remember, bending the knees is helpful, especially for flattening the back to stand up. We'll lift the arms, draw into the abdomen, fold down, half lift, and fold down. Straight back lift, arms up, arms relax, and inhale, arms lift, exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold down. Straight back lift, arms lift, arms relax, arms lift, exhale, fold down. Half lift, exhale, release, straight back lift, arms come up, exhale, arms relax. Let's do one more of the half sun salute. We're still warming up very slow. We're going to get to building some good heat. For now, we're just relaxing, but flowing with intention as well. So half lift, it's a strong movement of flattening the back, and then a deeper release. And then again, pass through that half lift, might need to bend the knees, strong flat back lift. It's good for the core and healthy for the discs. Arms come up, hands to heart. Feet parallel, double check that, and then take a little bit of a chair or take a deeper chair, hands to heart. Option to extend the arms partway or fully. Your neck hurts, be less lifted with the arms. Otherwise, the full extension, the openness of chest and shoulders while drawing weight back into the core, the heels, is very good. Take deep breaths and place the hands on the ground. Walk back to downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. And bend the knees on the floor. Fold the arms under the head and take a little bit of a child's pose. Come back to hands and knees and roll out the back. Still flowing very smoothly. We did child just now, not because we're tired yet, so we haven't really worked hard, but as a reminder that you can always rest in child. Child's a place that you can come back to as much as you need. Now we're flowing smoothly through the cat rolls. These are subtle movements, but you can lift and engage the core more to stretch. And as we loosen up and relax, we want to stay loose and relaxed even when we get to more seemingly aggressive movements like doing chaturanga up dog. We want to be fluid and smooth so we can cultivate relaxation as we use effort in the body. Helps the harder aspects of practice to not fatigue one as much even while you build strength. And we can experience eventually with enough training, and it might take a while, but what's called like a meditation in action. Trance-like smooth fluid flow. Next time the back is straight, push into the legs, downward dog, pedal out the legs. And when you're done pedaling out the legs, let's go ahead and take child's pose. And next we'll come to sitting or kneeling. If you can't sit on the heels comfortably, then kneel, but otherwise pass through this and then take a big step up with the right foot, step forward, right knee above the ankle or heel, and then warrior one. Back foot down, rise up, hold the thigh if you need, arms extending if you can, arms in more of a goal post if you have shoulder or neck injuries. Otherwise, that deep extension is good for opening the shoulders, building muscle tone in the back. Sit low into it if your knees don't hurt, and have a very strong back leg. Take a half bow and inhale, lift. Take a full bow and draw into the core. Inhale, lift. Glide back, downward dog, and come into upward dog, back to downward dog. Now, if you don't like upward dog or you don't feel warmed up enough for that, you can always do hands and knees and cobra. Otherwise, let's do another up dog, down dog. Take your variation of choice, rolling into it or doing chaturanga up dog, hands and knees cobra, and we'll all meet back to down dog. Then kneel down, fold down, rest just very briefly, and then come on up and take a big step up with the left foot. Long step, maybe step twice. See how the knee is just above heel or ankle? That's exactly what we want, not beyond. Warrior one, back foot down. Draw into the core, rise up. Squaring the hips. Half bow. And inhale, lift. Full bow. And inhale, lift. Glide back. Downward dog. When ready, Inhale, up dog, down dog, or just stay in the rest pose. Work on lifting and opening up in the chest and drawing to the core to flow back. Lightly walk or hop to the top of the mat. Half lift, full fold. Straight back lift, rise on up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms relax. And then go ahead and take chair pose. Feet parallel. And fold over the legs, hands down. Glide back, downward dog. If you like, inhale, up dog. Down dog. Child's pose. And come on up to sitting or kneeling. And go ahead and take a turn. Walk or jump the feet apart. And sway side to side. Stay with the breath as you flow smoothly. When you're ready, come back to center and then go ahead and bend the right knee and work on lifting the chest, cross the arms, and extend, or keep the hands on the ground. Have a little bit more of a lift of the chest, and then relax and switch. Bending the left leg, pressing through the outer right foot. Lift, cross the arms, and express. Hands down, come back to center, and go ahead and do that again on the right side. Either stay like this or cross the arms. This time keep the body lower to the ground if that's working for you. A little bit different strength and stretch here. And then relax and switch. Stay like this if you need. Otherwise, body stays a little bit lower to the ground. See the difference between like here and here. Very similar, but different movement, different stretch. That's good. And then come back to center. Come on up with a clean hinge at the hips, drawing in the core, flat back lift. Open the arms, open the right foot. Turn the back foot up. Level the hips, take warrior two. Lengthen the leg. And then bend the knee. And lengthen the leg. And bend the knee. Lengthen the leg, bend the knee, lengthen the leg, bend the knee. Bend the knee, open the knee, draw the tail down, draw the abs in. And relax the arms and center the back foot. Turn the back foot in and open the left leg, spreading the toes. And go ahead and lengthen the leg and bend the knee. Lengthen the leg, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg, bend the knee, lengthen the leg, and bend the knee. Lengthen the leg, bend the knee, open the knee, looking at the big toe and middle toe, arms lifted, back hip lower, abdomen in. And relax arms and legs, centering the feet. And let's go ahead and bring the feet a little closer. Open the toes, bending the knees, and lengthening. We're going to do the goddess plie, or the horse movements. Hold the knees, help them widen. And after a few of these, we're nice and warmed up. We can sit really low, unless that hurts the knees or the back. Sit really low, have the hands help the knees widen, arms up. Deep breath. And come on up, arms relax, and slowly bring the feet together. And feet together, stand tall. Inhale, arms lift, heels lift. Hands come together. Sorry, it's not in the video, but hands together unless your neck aches. Try this, and then relax. And we're going to apply that to a warrior 3 sequence. So make sure there's space in front of you, but also space behind you, because we're going to do a step back. Have weight on the right foot. And if you'd like, take the arms overhead. But if you're newer to warrior 3, maybe just do airplane arms. Airplane arms, tip a little bit, or go till you're parallel to the ground. And then step back, crescent lunge. Maybe 2 steps. A long step is preferable if you're able to. Deep breath. And then glide back into warrior 3. You can do airplane arms, hands on hips, or you sort of choke up on the mat a little bit, come in and extend arms forward. Now come up, bring the feet together, take a forward salute. Feet glued together. As you take your salute, lift the heels. Draw on your core, work on your balance. Come on down. Feet together. Lengthen and open the toes. And go ahead and take warrior 3 on the left foot. Airplane arms, or a variation of your choice. Deep breath. Come on back. Crescent lunge. Tailbone down, abs in. And then come on up and take warrior 3. And feet together, lifting the heels, dry the abs, and come on down. All right, very good. Let's try a squat now. Have the feet a little on the wide side. Take your squat. Some students can't squat, so putting a blanket under the heels, blocks under the hips, whatever it is you need. Your back will be rounded. for the crow. If you don't want to do crow, stay in the squat or do a seated hip opener. If you can't squat, but you can crow, sometimes you're lifted and you perch and lower down into it. Otherwise, you lift up from the squat, lift up, lean in, round the back, keep the head up a bit. Keep the toes on the ground if you're scared. If you're new to this, just stay like this, but practice squeezing the core. Eventually, you squeeze the core and bring the feet together. Crow. And when you're ready, come down. Do longer, shorter, always, for all held poses. But when you are ready to move on to the next held pose, slowly sit down. Draw the hips back. Keep the chest lifted, knees high, chest high. Hold the ground, the legs, or arms out. Knees high is the priority. If you can keep the knees high and extend the legs for the VC or Navasana, we'll do that. And then we'll switch back to hands and knees. And press out the ribs. And neutral spine. Extend the legs. Plank. Left arm up. Side plank. If you need, you could do kickstand or knee down. Otherwise, side plank with the option of a plank push-up. So either come down and rest or come down and take a plank push-up, squeezing the abs the whole time. And other side. And come on down. Plank push-up. Dog stretch. Child's pose. And come on up to sitting or kneeling. If it hurts your knees for sitting or kneeling, do a different seated posture. We're going to be here for a while, so make sure your knees and legs feel really good. Seated twist to the right. And seated twist to the left. Open the shoulders. Open the chest. Deep breath. Come back to center. Now we'll take a big step up with the right foot. Step twice if you need, lift a bit, and then take a half bind twist to the right. And either stay like this or lengthen the back leg, rotated crescent. Exhale. Downward dog. Child's pose. And come on up. Sitting or kneeling. And take a big step up with the left foot. Take a twist to the left of the half bind. Keep the back knee down if you did that on the other side, but if you did the more active version, we'll do the same thing on both sides, lengthening the legs and opening the chest. Deep breath, rotated crescent, working on achieving that meditation in action, or as close to that as we can. And come on down, downward dog. If you'd like, go right to child, otherwise work in up dog, down dog. Child's pose. And let's take sitting position again. You can sit like this. If your knees hurt, you can sit cross-legged. But if you're able to challenge your seat a little bit more, tuck under your toes. Regardless of the sitting position that works for you, we're going to add the reverse prayer with the hands working down toward the upper back. Abs in, ribs in. So you're toning a little bit, and that also enhances the stretch as you lengthen the spine, stretch, and tone. Of course, breathe. Arms extend, arms relax, and then go ahead and place the hands forward and lengthen the legs into a plank position. Hold the plank and breathe deep. And then put the knees down and the elbows down and work the legs way back and hold the plank on the elbows. And then the Sphinx. Lift and open the chest. Stretch. And enjoy deep breath. Come on down. And next we're going to try a Cobra Pose. Shoulders back and down, opening up in the chest. Reach back through the feet. Deep breath. And come on down. And we'll go ahead and take a half locust. We just lift the chest, lift the arms, reach the arms back, and open the chest. Deep breath. And then come on down. And inhale, lift the chest and the legs. Locust pose. And exhale, release. Try the left arm under the head. Stretch the right thigh. The heel a little bit wider than the hip. And breathe. And go ahead and switch sides. And take deep breath. And when you're done with both sides, we're going to set up for the bow pose. So go ahead and hold the ankles if you can. You can do locust with bent knees. Otherwise, hold the ankles, hug the knees in, and inhale bow. And come on down. And release. Use the core and lift. Take downward dog. Child's pose. And just take some rest. Come on up, sitting or kneeling, and adjust hips to the side, legs come out from under. Next, we're going to do the tabletop. We have the knees bent, bring the hands back, feet parallel, and go ahead and inhale to lift. Tabletop, lift, stretch, really lift out of the shoulders. Take the head back if you're really lifting the chest. Otherwise, you don't need to. Just breathe. And then come on down. Hips back, knees lift, and VC or Navasana. Feet down, holding the shins, pull against the shins, lift the chest, and then again, Navasana, and then feet down, hands back, feet parallel, inhale, lift. Come on down, hips back, lifting the chest, arms extend, and then lower the legs and lift the arms into Dandasana. And let's do that sequence one more time. If you're new to it, you can't expect it to be too smooth, that's fine. But as you practice these type of controlled movements more, you'll develop your core and become more proficient. So it's feet down, arms up, like synchronized swimming. There you go. And then keep the lift of the chest, reach forward through the chest, and take forward bend, Paschimottanasana. Reach forward through the chest, relax down the back of the neck. You might need the knees bent a little bit, and sometimes sitting on a blanket or a towel is very helpful for this. Deep breath. And release the forward bend. Let's go ahead and open up the legs a little bit. Roll out the hip gently. Roll out the hip on the other side. And when you're done with both sides, we'll sit in cross-legged position, hips back, sit tall, and let's go ahead and just close the eyes for a little bit. Long spine. Deep breath. And go ahead and switch. And close the eyes. And sit nice and tall. So we're doing another about 5 breaths or about 1 minute of meditation. I call it quiet time. Just very simple 5 breath quiet time. Yeah, come back to the body. Let's go ahead and readjust so we have room to lower onto the back. Release onto the back. Knees to chest. And then lower the feet and open the knees. Feet together. Knees open. If you like, you can have the hands under the head. Or you can arrange the arms any way that feels really good. And if your low back feels pinched, then go ahead and elevate the feet like a pillow or a towel under the feet should help with the low back a lot. And knees lift. Knees to chest. Keep the right knee to chest, put the left foot on the ground. If you can, extend the right leg and hold the foot, or use a strap over the foot, and it also works just fine to hold the leg with the knee a little bit bent if you feel really tight. If you feel like you can stretch more, you lengthen the bottom leg. And if you want to work on the core, one last time, you sit up toward the leg, draw the knee toward the nose, draw the nose toward the knee, deep breath. Keep the stretch in the leg and lay back down. And release. Have the right leg bent. Bend the left knee into the chest. Hold the foot and extend the leg. Remember all your options, holding the calf, having the knee bent, or holding the foot, or holding the foot with a strap. Option to lengthen the bottom leg. And if you'd like, curl into it, work the core one last time. Keep that fire burning. And keep the stretch in the leg. Lay back down. Take a couple more breaths. And release the left leg to the ground. Open the arms. Bend the right knee and roll up onto the left hip. Stretch. Hip side stretch. Ground the shoulders. Deep breath. And Other side. Take 5 deep breaths on both sides. Take extra time if one side's a little bit more stiff. And when you feel really even and complete on both sides, let's lay down and relax a bit. And take Shavasana. Close the eyes, soften the breath, and enjoy some time for deep relaxation. When you're ready, deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. And gradually come back to the body. And sit tall. That is when you come upright to your comfortable seat. We'll sit tall, breathe deep. We'll conclude with a clearing breath and then 3 ohms. Breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. And then inhale for Om. Namaste. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. This has been Vinyasa Yoga. Very likely have another Saturday class and Thursday class. That seems to be a schedule that works, but it's moment to moment. I update at least 24 hours in advance on the social medias, so check out Facebook or Instagram for updates of when the live classes are. I'll be trying to do short form pre-recorded ones as well to get the other themes covered: core conditioning, restorative, etc. So, and also probably in 2 or possibly 3 weeks' time, I'm going to do live stream yoga for cyclists, probably on a Saturday night, either on the 20th or 27th, 5:30 p.m. California time, and 100% of the proceeds are going to benefit the Legion of Los Angeles cycling team, which is a cycling team that promotes diversity and American racing. So check in for that, donate if you can. More soon. I will see you later. Yes, very good. This class is for donation, by the way, so appreciate anything you can give. And if you're not able to donate financially, just the fact that you're practicing is a great contribution. So share with your friends, keep practicing, and stay well.